She alleges the actor became intoxicated at his Reno home, yelled for hours, and forced her to lock herself in a room in fear. Zhou claims the messages and threats were part of a broader pattern of mistreatment.
So, a Chinese filmmaker just accused Jeremy Renner of threatening to call immigration on her after she turned down his advances. And the screenshots she posted are absolutely wild. Zhou dropped a series of Instagram posts on November 4th that have Hollywood in complete chaos right now. She's claiming that the Hawkeye actor sent her explicit photos back in June, got drunk and violent during a business meeting at his house, and then threatened to report her to ICE when she called him out. Renner's lawyers are calling it all lies and saying she's been harassing him for months, but Zhou keeps posting more receipts. And honestly, this whole thing is messy as hell. Before we get into the drama, let me tell you who Zhou actually is, because she's not just some random person making accusations. She's a 37-year-old filmmaker and artist who's had her work shown at Sundance, Cannes, Venice Biennale, Shanghai Biennale. She's done campaigns for Chanel, worked with Karl Lagerfeld, been in Vogue. She founded her own production companies in the US and Italy. She's not exactly someone who needs to manufacture controversy for attention.
By the name of Zhou, and some ranting text messages, explicit photos, and videos to basically like woo her or, try to get close to her.
Zhou and Renner were working together on 2 projects this year. The first was a documentary called Chronicles of Disney, which came out in October. It's about the legacy of the Walt Disney Company, told through interviews with the people who actually worked there. The second project was an AI animated film called Stardust Future, which was supposed to have Renner voicing a character called the Oracle of Time. According to Zhou, Renner reached out to her first back in June. She claims he sent her what she called a string of unwanted, unsolicited pornographic images of himself through WhatsApp and Instagram DMs. In her Instagram post, she wrote that he convinced her of his sincerity, telling her he'd been single for a long time and was open to a long-term relationship. She said she believed him and thought they could build something real. Zhou shared screenshots with the Daily Mail that allegedly show their conversations.
Jeremy Renner is threatening to call ICE on a woman that apparently he was, romantically involved with, and he's being exposed for it.
In one message, she reportedly called him a pig and accused him of using apps to send explicit photos. The message she claims Renner sent back said, "Immigration will be notified of your..." and then cuts off. Zhou told the Daily Mail she has the full message but chose not to share it publicly. Now, here's where things get really dark. Zhou gave an interview to the Daily Mail published on November 6th where she described what happened during a meeting at Renner's home in Reno, Nevada on August 20th. She said they were supposed to be discussing logistics for the Chronicles of Disney documentary. According to her account, Renner drank an entire bottle of wine by himself and then started yelling for 2 hours. Zhou told the Daily Mail, "I had to lock myself in a room to be safe, praying he would not come into the room at night as he was really angry I did not say a word. I was so scared for my life."
Somebody respond, "Okay, anything you need me to do? Is he near you now?" "No, but I'm worried. Are you staying the night at his house?" "I'm worried, serious." "Are you alone now?" "Yes." "Are you staying in..."
She shared text messages she allegedly sent to her Disney colleagues that night where she called Renner violent and said she was worried her friends texted back asking if she'd be safe staying there. She replied, "I should be okay." The Daily Mail obtained screenshots of these conversations. In the texts, Zhou's location was being shared with her team, her parents, and people at Disney. That's the kind of thing you do when you genuinely feel unsafe. After Chronicles of Disney was released in October, Zhou claims Renner refused to promote it, even though he'd allegedly signed agreements with her production company, Into the Sun Films. She told the Daily Mail that he used fan accounts to spread rumors that the documentary was made with AI and that he hadn't actually participated in it, which is weird because there's literally promotional material from October showing Renner was involved. Zhou says when she confronted him privately about his behavior and asked him to respect her as a woman and filmmaker, that's when he allegedly threatened to call ICE, she wrote on Instagram. "He threatened to call immigration/ICE on me, an act that deeply shocked and frightened me. No woman, filmmaker, or creative should have to work under such emotional and psychological pressure while trying to protect her name and the integrity of her work. Now, ICE threats are particularly scary right now because of the current political climate around immigration enforcement. For someone who's in the US on a work visa or any kind of immigration status, having a powerful Hollywood actor threaten to report you to immigration authorities is genuinely terrifying. That's not just a personal attack. That's threatening someone's entire ability to stay in the country and continue their career. On November 7th, just 3 days after Zhou's initial posts, Renner's attorney, Marty Singer, sent her a cease and desist letter. The letter, which was obtained by multiple outlets, calls Zhou's allegations false, outrageous, and highly defamatory. Singer claimed that Zhou has been relentlessly harassing and threatening my client with hundreds of unsolicited and unwanted messages.
Just seeing this headline seems like it's fake. I'm like, no! Not Jeremy Renner, no! What the hell?
The cease and desist letter says that Renner and Zhou had one brief, consensual encounter on July 12, 2025, after Renner sat for an interview for her documentary at a hotel in Reno. Singer's letter alleges that Zhou had been aggressively pursuing a sexual, romantic, sexting relationship with Renner on social media and was flirtatious and made sexual advances during their July meeting. The letter also claims that Zhou has been sending Renner sexually explicit messages expressing her love, and that the most recent one came on October 24th. Singer threatened to sue Zhou for millions if she continues to make what he calls false, fabricated, and salacious lies about Renner. Here's what makes this complicated. About 3 weeks before Zhou posted her allegations, she was actually speaking positively about Renner on social media. In October, according to Page 6, she posted something suggesting Renner had found a new love in her after his snowplow accident. She posted photos of them together in September when they were in Reno at his home, so there's definitely evidence they had some kind of relationship beyond just a single interview.
How she rolls. She's one of them women that like that stuff. So they both, to me, they both a little off. Listen.
Zhou responded to the cease and desist by posting even more. She shared what she claims is a signed agreement for Renner to participate in Masters of Cinema 2, Chronicles of Disney. She posted the metadata from her photos to prove they're real and not AI generated, like Renner's team was allegedly claiming. And she's been posting nearly daily updates on Instagram with more allegations and context. In one of her more recent posts, Zhou claims another woman has come forward saying Renner was dating her at the same time he was involved with Zhou. She's hinted that she's giving another interview to the Daily Mail where this anonymous woman will speak. Zhou has also been posting about what she calls a smear campaign against her, claiming Renner is using fake accounts and trolls to discredit her online. The latest development is that Renner's legal team sent another letter specifically about the AI film Stardust Future. According to Deadline, the letter claims Zhou used Renner's voice in the animated project without authorization. The letter states that Renner has no knowledge of and did not willingly participate in any AI-generated animation or other project, and that his only involvement was with the Disney documentary. They're threatening to sue her for millions over the unauthorized use of his name, voice, and likeness. But Zhou has been posting what she says are contracts and agreements showing Renner did agree to participate in Stardust Future. So either one of them is lying about the contracts, or there's some serious miscommunication about what Renner actually agreed to do. What makes this story even more loaded is Renner's history.
Jeremy Renner real quick. We got a little bit of a controversy brewing with Jeremy Renner. You guys will remember him, obviously, from the Marvel Cinematic Universe as one of the OG Avengers. He was also in one of the Mission Impossible movies.
During his divorce and custody battle with his ex-wife, Sonny Pacheco, back in 2019, Pacheco accused him of threatening to kill her and himself. She claimed he fired a gun inside their home while their daughter was in another room. She also accused him of dangerous drug use and being an unfit parent. Renner denied all of those allegations at the time. He told The Guardian earlier this year, "It's all the salaciousness that happens out there. It's clickbait, and it hurts my feelings, and it dehumanizes people." He and Pacheco now share joint custody of their daughter. In her Instagram posts, Zhou specifically mentioned Pacheco's allegations. She wrote that she initially didn't believe Renner's ex-wife, but that after allegedly experiencing similar behavior herself, she understands what Pacheco went through. Zhou said her team and friends at Disney helped her manage to endure the situation. Renner's been through a lot in recent years. In January 2023, he was run over by his own snowplow while trying to save his nephew. He suffered chest trauma and nearly 40 broken bones. He was hospitalized for months and had to learn to walk again. He's been doing the press circuit talking about his recovery, his memoir, My Next Breath, and his charity work. He seemed like he was in a redemption arc, focusing on helping kids in foster care through his Renovation Foundation. And then these allegations dropped and everything got complicated again. So where does this leave us? We've got two completely opposite stories. Zhou is saying Renner pursued her romantically, sent her explicit photos, got drunk and violent, threatened her with ice when she pushed back, and then tried to erase their professional relationship. She's posting screenshots, contracts, photos, metadata, and getting more detailed with every post. Renner's team is saying Zhou pursued him aggressively, that they had one brief consensual encounter, and that she's been harassing him for months with hundreds of messages. They're threatening lawsuits and calling everything she's posted defamatory lies. The truth is probably somewhere in the complexity of the situation, but we won't know unless this actually goes to court and evidence gets presented under oath. What we do know is that Zhou worked on legitimate projects that Renner participated in. The Chronicles of Disney documentary is real and was released in October. Promotional materials exist showing Renner's involvement. So they definitely had a professional relationship at minimum.
Off into like its own MCU, and he was going to have Jason Bourne's legacy passed down to Jeremy Renner's character. So, he's been in our genre for a while, action, adventure, that type of stuff. And he's, a pretty good actor. At least I think so.
We also know that Zhou posted about their relationship positively in October, just weeks before the allegations came out. That could mean she was trying to protect the professional relationship and the projects they were working on, or it could support Renner's team's claim that she was pursuing him. It's genuinely hard to say without seeing all the messages and communications between them. The ICE threat allegation is particularly serious. If Renner did threaten to call immigration on Zhou, that's weaponizing someone's immigration status against them. That's not just unprofessional. It's potentially illegal depending on the context and intent. Immigration threats have been used historically to silence people, especially women, from speaking out about abuse or misconduct. It's a way of saying, if you don't shut up, I'll get you deported. But if Zhou is fabricating that threat, then she's making an incredibly serious false accusation that could permanently damage Renner's reputation and career. That's why Renner's lawyers are threatening to sue for millions. Defamation cases are hard to win, but if they can prove she knowingly lied about something that damaging, she could be in serious legal trouble. The other layer to all of this is the timing and the public nature of how it's unfolding. Zhou isn't going through lawyers or filing police reports first. She's posting everything on Instagram in real time. That's either because she feels she has no other recourse and wants public accountability, or it's because she's trying to pressure Renner publicly. Depends on who you believe. What's wild is how this connects to larger conversations about power dynamics in Hollywood, about how Asian filmmakers and women are treated in the industry, about immigration being used as a weapon, and about how allegations against celebrities get handled in the social media age. Zhou wrote in one of her posts that this represents the unsaid truth about Hollywood and the conditions about how women and Asian filmmakers and filmmakers overall are still being mistreated. She's framing this as not just about her individual experience, but about systemic issues in the entertainment industry. Whether you believe Zhou or Renner probably depends a lot on your prior assumptions about Hollywood, about power imbalances, about how false accusations work versus how real misconduct gets covered up. The reality is we're all watching this play out in real time through Instagram posts and legal letters. And nobody except Zhou and Renner actually knows what happened in those private conversations and that house in Reno. What's your take on this? Do you think Zhou's allegations are credible based on what she's posted? Or do you think Renner's legal team is right that this is harassment and fabrication? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but keep it respectful because we're talking about serious allegations either way. And obviously subscribe if you want to stay updated on how this unfolds, because something tells me this story isn't over. Zhou's still posting almost daily, Renner's lawyers are threatening lawsuits, and there's supposedly another interview coming with another woman involved. This is going to keep developing. Thanks for watching.